Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. This is going to be possibly a repair video on this unit. This is a SACO high voltage fence charger. It is a solid state unit, not low impedance, so it's not rated in joules. It is a click-in type though. It does click every 1 point something seconds. But this is not a like I said, not a low impedance unit. It's a solid state. It's not weed burner either. It says shocks through wet weeds or shocks through weeds and grass, which it does, but they don't, it says 20-mile range, and that's kind of a pie in the sky rating, but it's a single wire, clean fence, high tensile wire, that sort of thing. So let's get this thing apart here in a second. Let me show you my information here in case you've never seen any of our videos. There are links down in the description below. Our website is fencerfixer.com. We also work on cattle scales and low bars and stuff for mostly Gallagher and Tru-Test, but cattlescalerepair.com is our other website. But we always give free quotes and 1.5 year warranties on the repairs that we do to a unit. But let's get these screws out of here. The note on it says the lightning resistor is stuck together. It may need a new one, which I don't know if we can get those. Please let me know the cost before making any repairs. We've worked on this before. All right, well, let's see what we can figure out with this thing. Let's get the screws out of it. Something rolling around the inside, some piece of something like here, little tiny bits moving around on the inside. All right. I hot glued it together over here. So that's that lightning resistor we're talking about. This is the overvoltage protection thing. It won't keep the unit from running. It's just a protection piece. You see this resistor's got some flake on it where it's damaged. So I wish they would have made these wires a little longer so I had a little room to play with. Well, let's plug it in. Start testing power. See if we got power coming into the fuses and stuff. I mean, we can check the fuses, I guess, but we've already got it opened up. So let's just plug it in. A lot of parts for these things are not available. Some parts are, but a lot of them aren't. Okay, power light comes on. That's fuse and input. So that means it's getting power in, but it's not clicking. We'll go ahead and we'll still check the power. 123 volts. Okay, let's see this wire. It goes basically across the power cord right there. So, power is getting to the board, but it's not making it that way. So not a lot to these things. Those big resistors right there, that one's got a crack and flaking on it. I think that's a I could test it, but I'm pretty certain those are like 1 mega ohm resistors, I believe. Let's just test this one since we know this one might be good. Oops. That's 11K roughly. Oh, well, shit, that's all flaked up. So probably need to replace the resistors first. Capacitor, we could check that. Check the primary of the transformer too. These 2 black wires right here on the primary side of the fuse should be 0 point something, and we're getting ohms wise, because 2 black wires, we're getting 0.3, so the transformer's fine. At least the primary's good. I don't know about the output side yet. So problems in the board. Oh shoot. Now I've got another bad board here. So I got another good board laying right here somewhere that I can test to see if the what size resistors those are. They look like brown. I can't tell if it's gray or brown or gray, black, or green. That middle band is kind of discolored a little bit. You can't just stick any old. Oh, here's a board right here. Look at that. Alright, well this is another, it's the same kind of board, but let's almost cross those resistors there, see what size they are. Because I think this is a good board. Well, this is 178 ohms. That's kind of a weird number. Well, let's see if we can find like a 150 to 200 ohm resistor. Stick inside there. But we gotta get some bigger wattage ones. We don't want to put just some dinky little thing in there. Alright, let's see. There's a 220 ohm. Probably stick that in there. 170, that's 470K. See if you can find like a 150 to 200 ohms. See, this comes with that 150 or 200 ohm. 150, but not, and then 220. So 220 might be the one we're going with. Let's do that then. We'll take two of these out. Stick that there. But I have a little too much resistance and not quite enough. Alright, let's get some of these wires unplugged, just so we can move this case out of the way a little bit more. Let's unplug these two red wires. Now we can tilt that back. Let's undo the screws here. I don't know if this is all that's wrong, but I can definitely tell that those resistors are no good. Alright, let's check the diodes on there as well while we got it open here, and we'll good. That might be bad too. That diode might be bad. Let's check it, compare it to a known good board. So that doesn't beep. Reverse it just to make sure. Alright, so we're going to replace those two resistors. That small diode. Possibly this thing right here, which I don't know what size it is. I think we got one that'll work. There's another SCR right there. I think that's a similar size. Get the diode out here so we can get that replaced. So we'll start with that. I guess we check the capacitor as well, but Looks like it's been replaced once before, and sometimes you got to pull the capacitors off to actually test them. See, I'm not getting any kind of reading on my meter right over here. So we may have to desolder one leg of it, pull it out, and then recheck it. It's like the SCR on there has been changed once before by somebody, maybe myself, I don't know. Okay, let's see. So we'll take the SCR. Oops. Take this SCR off first. Oh. And we got this, oh god, this diode over here. Got the other solder path for the diode right there. Come on. Okay, so I think hopefully the diode will come out of there. If not, we'll desolder some more on there. The SCR fell out, which is good, and then to come out anyways. So now we'll take these two. God, I don't know where all these wires go, so I'd unplug all of them. And we'll go over here and desolder. Oh, god dang it. Go over here and desolder on this one. God, come on. Alright, take off one leg of the capacitor. Looks like it's, at least this one here will go out first. And then we'll lift it up and then we'll test it out of circuit. Okay. All right. Let's test across here to here. Supposed to read 100, and we're reading 100.7, or 107. So capacitor is good. All right, let's pull the resistors out. And then I'll pull this diode out. Come on. Okay, now we got the two resistors. Alright, and then we'll get this capacitor. Shove it back in. Okay, that's in. Alright, next, the diode and an SCR. Where the hell I put those at? There's a diode. SCR, if I got plenty of those in stock, I think the one that we're going to put in there will work with it. That diode does go in a certain way. Same with the SCR. There's the old SCR. Shit, where'd that wire go? Oh, up there, fencing ground. Okay, so that. So let's bend that out like that. We'll grab it halfway up and bend it like that, so that way it's kind of got a triangular pattern to it. I think it should go right there. I'll flip this over. And now we'll just go to soldering all the parts back on there. Plug this thing back in, see if it'll work. Next is the capacitor. Next, touch that one up just a little bit. Do this resistor. And then we'll do this resistor. And we'll do the diode. Other diode, and then we'll do that. There you go. All right, snip off the excess. I'm just hoping the SCR is the right type, because there's so many different variations and sizes and styles. None of them are all the same. Okay, let's get the other two screws out of there. Let's just leave. Let's see if we can get it screwed back down at least. We'll get at least one more in the corner here. There's the screw hole in that one. Okay, let's bring this cord up and over to those other two tabs we unplugged from. This is our flash and bulb for the transformer primary side. Plug that wire in up there. As for our fence side. Okay, well, let's see what happens. We'll turn the slide off overhead because that'll get rid of some of the glare. All right, wish me luck. Give it a second. There it goes. Yeah, clicking along. The lights flashing and everything. Okay, so let's test it on the output. These solid state ones have a lot of power behind them. I mean, voltage wise. We're getting 15,000 volts out of the thing. 15 kV, but look, only 2 amp. So let's see, kind of spark this thing a throw. Let me I want to go from ground and get close to the fence. Voila! Another one saved from the trash heap. Turn this around. Get the other screws in it, but this one's done. Well, I don't know what to do about that because I don't think I got any more of those. Let me go look real quick. Well, I do, but it's ginormous compared to the old one. God, the wires are so short. So we can put that on there. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut it up high like this. There's a size difference. Someone tried hot gluing it together, I guess, thinking that was what their problem was, and then nope. You see it worked just fine without it. See if I can make a little hook in this. And screw these hooks together. And then we'll solder them. Well, let's go ahead and solder the one first. Let's get that done. And then we'll move the second side and solder it. looks good. Just bend a little hook in that one, and then we'll hook them together. And then we'll pinch to close off the little hooks. And then we'll solder them together. Oh, shit. Yep, solder wasn't all the way sealed up or hardened up all the way. Let's squeeze it back together. We'll just add a little solder to the iron. Should just be able to heat them back up. And then give it a second to cool off. Alright, this one's done. We'll get this one put back together. We'll call the customer up, give them the quote.